is boxing, and Nigerians have been charged to continue to spread love by reaching out to the less privileged members of the society through a exchange of gifts to commemorate the Boxing Day. Those who spoke in separate interviews with Osbc News in Osogbo, Osun State on the significance of the day noted that the economic situation in the country should not deter people from sharing love in the spirit of the season. Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
Celebrated the day after Christmas in the United Kingdom and other British Commonwealth countries, including Nigeria. The federal government of Nigeria often declare a public holiday to commemorate the day, which history recorded to have been set aside for churches to open the boxes used to receive donations meant for the needy and distribute same to them.
The United Kingdom set aside 26 December as Boxing Day. So that day is a public holiday, a day immediately after Christmas. So reach out to the wider public. There is a kind of riding of horses, sports, and then sharing of gifts. The masters used to give those under them certain kind of tip-off as a kind of celebrating the public holiday, having worked conscientiously for them within the period under review.
It is also a day set aside to open up all the gifts received during Christmas. A cleric, Venerable Ephraim Akaya, said people should take advantage of the day to extend helping hands to the needy in the society.
People think it's the day to fight, to throw punches at each other. No. Boxing Day is about those gifts you have received at Christmas. What people have given to you, you open it that day. And you yourself that is opening in who has been given, you should be able to share with others. That is love. If it is good for you, it's also good for others.
Speaking in the same vein, an analyst, Dr. David Ogunshade, noted that the economic situation in the country should not discourage people from taking care of the needy in their midst, adding that the reason for the season is to spread love, which is the whole essence of humanity.
It's, it entails a moral. I think it's about moral, and to others as you want them to do to you. So it's a question of morality and humanity. So it's an international concept. So I think it's universal. So and we are part and parcel of the international community.
People also spend the Boxing Day to hang out with families and friends, as well as engage in visitations to relaxation centers. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
Meanwhile, as Christians continue to bathe in the euphoria of activities commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, Speaker of Osun State House of Assembly, Honorable Timothy Uweye, has underscores the importance of seeking the face of God through thanksgiving. Honorable Uweye stated this in his address at this year's edition of the Carol service organized by the Assembly to herald the birth of the Savior of mankind. Parliamentary reporter Oluwatosin Oladokun reports.
The inception of the 7th Assembly, members of the legislative arm of government under the leadership of Honorable Timothy Uweye is consistently devoted to appreciate God through its annual Christmas Carol Thanksgiving. Recall that the present Assembly had our first Christmas Carol tag Expression Hall 1. Year after was the Expression Hall 2, followed by the Expression Hall 3. To cap it off, the Expression Hall 4 was also held in the grand style. The atmosphere at the House of Assembly Legislative Quarters, venue of the 4th edition of the Christmas Carol tag Expression Hall 4, indeed depicted that the Saviors of the world is born. This was as a result of series of gospel songs and among other ministrations which rent the hair. At the event, the first lesson was read by Honorable Adenike Abiye, while Honorable Michael Adetoyi took the second leg of the lesson from the Holy Scriptures. In his address, Osun State House Assembly Speaker Honorable Timothy Uweye said God lives in thanksgiving. This in Moses necessitated the authority and members of the State House of Assembly to organize such an organic process to commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ the Lord. the speaker, who quoted several passages in the Holy Scriptures to illustrate how God met, delivered, and settled many battles, confronted mankind. In development, he stated the power in the efficacy of offering magnetic praises and crosses to God. Honorable Timothy Owe thereafter appreciated members of the Second Assembly very immensely towards offering the unflinching support which gave birth to the successes recorded since the program started a few years ago. In his message, the guest speaker, who doubles as the chairman of Shun's Baptist Conference, Reverend Dr. Paul Kolawole, entitled his sermon, Three Witnesses About the Revelations of Birth of Jesus Christ. The cleric, who borrowed from the Holy Bible to drive and build his point, informed the gathering that the birth of Jesus Christ was humble and appeared mysterious. This was anchored on the manifestation of God with the overall intention of drawing mankind to God. It therefore encouraged Nigerians to develop positive mindset, noting that with God, Nigeria will surely get back to our feet again. In his vote of thanks, the chairman of the Christmas Carol, Honorable Olubenga Modipe, had acknowledged choirs and invited guest artists, just as Minister of God, who honored their invitations. Highlight of the fourth edition of the State Assembly Carol were prayer for governors Ademola Adeleke, Deputy Governor, Speaker of the House, Honorable Timothy Owe, members of the Assembly, as well as the people of the state in general.
Similarly, the praise and worship, singing and dancing galore that attended this year's Christmas Carol of OSBC will continue to linger for some time. Oluchi Amuda reports that the interesting aspect of the Carol service was departmental rendition of praise songs, all in commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ. I report.
The OSBC Christian community invited guests and other dignitaries, including the former Director General of the corporation, Prince Adeyeye Oyedokun, gathered at the Chapel of Grace Auditorium within the corporation for the 2022 service of songs and Christmas carol. In his ministration at the carol service, a clergy, Pastor Kehinde Ajibade, said the birth of Jesus Christ brings salvation to the world, and every Christian should endeavor to spread the message of salvation by showing genuine love and care for one another.
We should allow the peace of Christ to reign in our land. Christ himself is the Prince of Peace.
In his goodwill message, the Director General of OSBC, Mr. Rashid Folaromi, urged the people to reflect on the reasons for the season by praying for the peace and progress of Nigeria, Osun State, and the corporation. The OSBC DG, who was represented by the Director, News and Current Affairs Department, Radio, Mrs. Abimbola Babatunde, noted that with prayers and attitudinal change, Nigeria will surmount her numerous challenges.
Christmas time that will lead to the new year is a time of celebration and also a time of sober reflection.
The event featured the readings of lessons from the Bible as Prince Adeyeye Oyedokun, Mrs. Jolade Ibarola, Mr. Tunde Oguntomi, Engineer Tony Owojaye, among others, took some of the lessons. It eventually climaxed with different renditions of Christmas songs performed by the various departments in OSBC. Earlier in his welcome address, the chairman of OSBC Christian Community, Mr. Bayo Akinsoya, admonished everyone to be ambassadors of peace, which the birth of Jesus Christ symbolizes. The 2022 Service of Songs and Carol, organized by the Chapel of Grace of Osbc Christian Community, provided opportunities for the people to sing, dance, and thank God for His faithfulness upon their lives. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has described Dr. Peter Babalola, a top leader of the ruling party, as an invaluable ally whose birthday calls for praise and adoration of the Almighty God. In a birthday message to the former multiple office holder in Osun State, Governor Adeleke praised the undiluted commitment of the celebrants to the common project of enthroning new leadership in the state, tagging him as a cerebral strategist whose uncommon wisdom at critical points propelled the achievement of new leadership in the state, commending him for his vast contribution to the victory of the party in the last election. Governor Adeleke noted that Dr. Babalola brought his wealth of experience to impact on the electioneering process as well as the governmental activities, acknowledging his many interventions which aided the Imole project at many critical points. The Osun State government has said its free train service for holiday makers during festive period has not been cancelled. The governor's spokesperson, Rashid Olawale, stated this in Osogbo, Osun State capital, adding that the new administration of Senator Ademola Adeleke could not provide the service this festive period due to certain hiccups it encountered in the planning and execution of the initiative. He said that Senator Ademola Adeleke will keep to the promise in continuing any good initiative of the previous government. Osun State government has declared that there is no law in Osun State which empowers a governor or his appointees to bolt away with government vehicles, challenging ex-Governor Oyetola's team to cite the name and date of enactment of the supposed fake law. Reacting to questions from journalists at Osogbo, the spokesperson to the governor, Malam Rashid Olawale, said, what the law provides is possibility of auctioning of public property if need arise for such, submitting that such an exercise must pass through due process with application of auctioning regulations and procedures. In this case, Madam Olawale stated that there was no auctioning of those vehicles, no tender payment, bidding and opening exercise without any legal foundation. Vehicles cumulatively worth about 3.5 billion naira were shared out. The spokesperson added that the affected officials admitted and are still laughably justifying illegality bordering on criminality. And that ends the state news on Osbc TV. Please join us at 5 for the evening news. Good afternoon.
Ọba tó ti dá dé.